What up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94. Back at you again with yet another Shorty Sneaker Conversations. This is episode 143. I put the title at the front, but it doesn't look like it took. So let's see if we can get our guest. What's up, Paper Chaser? OSD. What's up, Rochelle? What's up, Crispy and Clean? Just trying to get our guest. Saying he's not able to join. That's no good. Oh man, you tell me. You tell me. Just trying to get this show going. Not much cracking over here. What's up, phone 509? Hopefully we can get our guest soon. There he goes. Sent the invite, sir. Rochelle, don't tell me to smile. A few foams. I'm not a huge foam guy. Honestly, I think the last foam posit I bought is probably that snake skin one from 2019. Most of my foams are older. Um, like 2007, 2009 ish. So they're a little older. I said the best foam I probably have is the Oregon Duck foam from 2013. All right, just sent the invite. What's up, man?
What's going on, sir? How you feeling, man?
Good, man. Good, man. How's everything going with you?
No complaints, man. No complaints at all. I'm just blessed to be here, honestly speaking.
I feel that, man. I feel the same way, man. Well, welcome to Shorty Sneaker Conversations. This is episode 143. Good to have you
Yes,
aboard.
man. Appreciate
Now,
it, man.
no problem. Now, before we get started, is who has the heat? Is that still going on? Like, are you still like?
This
Did you win or how did that
I
go?
lost literally final round of ink and money. It was 6-up, and he won that last round. And I can show you the two shoes that actually that went up in that last round. So when it was like literally, it came down to the wire.
Yeah, Inca Money he's a little
Oh,
force to reckon with.
he's a problem. He's a problem. I ain't gonna never take away from that. And he, interestingly enough, as much as people like may dislike him or whatever the case is, incredible guy. And I think that's the part of it that like a lot of people miss. Incredible dude. Pistol Pete, what's going on, bro? Tito was good, fam.
Yeah, nah, he's always been cool.
Yeah.
I did Who Has the Heat season 7. Is it 7 or 8?
Oh,
And I
it was
got to
good,
like the
bro.
final four, but you
Yeah.
know,
It was some heavy hitters in that entire competition. And honestly speaking, I'll be honest with you, I was genuinely surprised I made it that far. So the fact that I was even at that precipice of the threshold of winning was one of those great things. So like when you look at the competition, whether it was D Got Juice or Kiki, first of all, Kiki, phenomenal. Like hands down, that woman is a sleeper, and the way she presents herself, especially with her collection, is something that you genuinely have to have nothing but respect for. Genuinely speaking, just a phenomenal person. Like carried herself incredibly well through every battle she walked through. So yeah, it was one of those moments. I you did, Tito. I appreciate that.
Um, since her and I are friends, it was hard to vote for y'all.
I could believe that. I could believe that.
Uh,
I could believe that. I definitely could believe
yeah,
that.
Keandra,
So
she has a lot. She definitely has a lot.
yeah, no, I could see that. And there was more than enough times where like she pulled. I think one of the questions was show your best sneaker like involving technology, and I pulled my Jordan 11 Adapt, and she pulled. It was a Mac like Macintosh computer inspired New Balance. And the way she spun it was the technology being, number one, it was obviously Macintosh inspired, first Mac, first DOS computer. And I was like, I'm sitting here staring at her go through this and like really run the gambit and like explain the sneak. And I'm just like, God damn, now I want to vote for
Yeah, that was a good battle. I really enjoyed that. I was really torn because you was coming with some haymakers there.
her. Just trying to have some fun whenever I can. Just trying to have some fun whenever I can.
Yeah. Well, look. Usually when I start the show, I always ask my guests, "What's the most important thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic?"
Um, shit. Uh, since the pandemic, I think the biggest thing I've been able to take from the world has been. It's interesting you asked that because I think that's the most thing that I got really sad about was financial security. Um, Me being able to work from home allowed me the ability to kind of stretch myself further. Hey, 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 down, 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 down. Appreciate you. I love you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
One of the biggest things was financial security. Actually, it gave me the ability to kind of just spread myself a little bit thinner and be able to be in multiple places at once for work. So the moment that the concept of work at home was introduced, I was like, oh, bet. Let me really, really run the gambit. So um, during the pandemic, I bought a car, I bought a house, and also I was able to genuinely reconnect with my family. Um, Being a person who worked as much as I did, I was constantly running. So I was anywhere in the house between maybe 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon and then running off to my night gig or whatever have you. Um, so being able to reconnect genuinely with my family and find out that I really didn't just love my wife, but I like my wife. I actually like my wife. That was a big thing because I mean I'm sure we saw divorce rates during that entire situation skyrocket over like 67%. So it was one of those things where when you in close confines with your person, do you really like this person? Not love is one of those things that I love a lot of things, but do you like this person?
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I went through during the pandemic and the shutdown. I was still married, so it was fortunately it was one of those things where I was like, because we actually moved to North Carolina from Cleveland, Ohio
Oh
during the
wow.
pandemic, August of 2020, and it was like that. Like, you know, um, fortunately I'm not married anymore, but you know what I mean. It was good during the pandemic, but the
Yeah.
pandemic changed a lot of things, both good and bad. So, you know.
Stop. And I think that's the biggest thing to notice was like having the ability to be around my person, to be around my wife as much as I did, and be like, damn, I, I like you. And not to sit there and say I didn't like her to begin with, but like just I genuinely like being around you. I like being around your company. And you are we doing this right now? I'm literally busy. I love you. I love you. I'm so sorry. He never
Hey,
does
I've been a dog owner before. I know how that is.
it. Get down.
Uh,
Okay. I love you too. Please. I will be give me a minute, okay? Come on. I got you. Um Being able to be with her and be around her and also just have someone kind of just believe and foster your habits and foster your love because that's the one that another thing person asks, well, how does your wife feel about your sneaker collection? This sneaker collection got her a house, and and that wasn't because I had to sell anything. It's because I ran out of space in our apartment.
mhm.
The next step up was the house.
Yeah.
So but it was it was a beautiful time, but also I will say it was a sad time because as well as I may have been doing, I watched other people who were not doing as well, and I did my best to offer whatever I could to those circumstances because it's one of those like I went, we really doing this? It's the look of like, yeah, go on. It was it was definitely one of those times where it was just like as good as I could be doing, I'm watching others who are not. So what can I do to help or to offer whatever I can? And I'm not just talking about from a financial perspective. Push was good, bro. Just sometimes just being there to listen, or people felt secluded. People felt tucked away. I'll say it gave me the ability to grow as a father, to grow as a man, and just to grow as a person. And I felt like um, it allowed me to also connect with some incredible people across the world, especially through this and through sneakers. So I think I will say for that time frame, I was truly blessed, and I think that's a word that most people can't use. So I'm very thankful and I recognize that.
Gotcha. Okay. We're just gonna jump right in. Things have been kind of hectic, so I do apologize. I wasn't able to send you like the story notes and how this goes.
Run with it. Do what you feel, man.
Yeah, usually, I start off with sneaker origins, and it's just what was that first sneaker? Because we from the same era. What was that first
Yeah.
sneaker that was like, all right?
Everybody knows me. Well, the people here, I'm pretty sure if before I can go grab it, they'll type it in the chat for me to give me.
Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Hove hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
It don't for me. It doesn't get any better, and it's not just because of it just being a Jordan. It was just like I remember seeing this shoe as a kid. I remember seeing this shoe in my earlier high school years, and I remember number one wanting this sneaker, and like we grew up for the most part. I'm 37, born in '86, Southeast DC for the most part is where I was born and raised at. And the drug epidemic was a very real thing, not just in the neighborhood, but also in my home.
You
So
said Southeast DC.
Southeast DC. So
Okay.
yeah, specifically around Stand Road, Bruce Place specifically. That was an area that was definitely, it was the projects. It was hit hard by a lot of things, whether it be drugs or whatever have you. And one of those things that felt susceptible to that circumstance was my parents. So my grandmother, for the most part, raised me, and I remember like us being so poor, we had to save up to be broke, and I stamp on that. Um, it's just this sneaker. I remember going into school and seeing kids with this shoe, and I remember falling in love with every bit of it and just not being able to afford it. So for me, I knew that when I got to a certain point, number one, shoes were not going to be a problem. But number two, this was going to be a staple. This was going to be the seed that planted the tree that you see around me. This is still my favorite pair in my collection. Out of everything you see here, I will always go, this is my default love. That I will be buried in this. This is what I go with. So it's my bread one.
So you were saying people when you was in high school with the '01 bread ones with the numbers.
Yeah.
Those. Yeah.
Yeah. And I, honestly speaking, weirdly enough, I remember seeing it because the shoe retroed in the early '90s. So I remember seeing kids come to school in that joint as well. Like, and I think that was what, like 8. I think I was about maybe 8 or 9 years old. Yeah, I always love that shoe. I always love this shoe. For me, it's nothing better, and it spoke volumes about it. I just remember I just could never afford it. So once I got to that place where money wasn't an option, I made sure that this was here. And then two, like this is my worn pair. This was worn in my wedding anniversary photos. This is something that I definitely, yeah, I'm gonna be buried in if when it comes down to it. Yeah, when I was in high school, I was in I graduated in '04.
Okay.
Damn, that sounded old. God damn, that sounded old. 20 years
Hey,
ago.
I
Damn,
graduated in '99, so don't feel bad.
it's not bad. I can eat it. Ain't bad.
Nah, man, but I will tell you, I feel that exact way. I have the 94 Chicago, and I've had it since then. It's the
Yeah,
shoe I've had the longest, and I could get rid of every shoe I have and still have that oxidized, the Nike sign is kind of worn off
yeah.
the tongue. I've worn them so
Yeah.
much that, but I bought it. Well, I say I bought it. My dad bought it for me when I was in 8th grade, 94, 95. So I just regret not asking for the breads because they were both on sale for $55 at Champ Sports.
Can we, bro, give me a time machine and like a solid 10K in cash. Like I will go live my, I will go live my best life, like hands down.
from from 94, well, I'll even say 93, from 93 until probably 98. That's such a great time for sneakers.
We just had this conversation the other day and talking about the fact that it wasn't back then, especially through those times, all the way, I'll give it all the way up until about maybe 2007. And I'm speaking from where I stand at.
Mm-hmm.
There was a run in basketball shoes that was unbeatable because it wasn't just one kind of siloed market. It wasn't just kind of Jordans. It wasn't just pennies. It wasn't just foams. You had so many iconic pairs that came out and it was beautiful to watch and it was across the board. So you had, even if they wasn't messing with it, you had Shaqs. And honestly speaking, shout out to what Shaq did for the community because he was trying to give you a shoe that not only was stylish, but also at the same time was able to be affordable. Like that, the Shaq Gnosises, the most recent ones he actually did have come out, the re-releases. Even when you look at the Pippen ran the market, Ewing ran the market, bro, me, yo, shout out to my man Push. This man made me so mad. This man went out and bought 2 pairs of the silver Tim Duncan foam posits. Hands down, a grail of shoes. And this man pulled up with 2 pairs. I was like, yeah, the disrespect is heavy. But the Tim Duncan foam posits, the Air Bacons, the Gary Paytons, the Sean Kemps, the Kevin Garnetts. Oh my, the flight foam and hyperposit in general was something that ran years of my high school career. And I remember seeing that shoe like it was no tomorrow. And it was one of those things where you had the ability to not just have J's, you could have a market of it. And it didn't just have to be Nike. If you wanted to go to a Reebok version, you had AIs, you had a couple of different places. And if you wanted to get a little bit more, funkier with it, you still had your New Balances, you still had your Converses, you still had your LA Gears. There was something for everyone to be able to enjoy. And nowadays, it just kind of feels like, okay, you either fit here, 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 or here, and that's it.
Now I'm gonna touch on something you said. It's a little bit more recent, but the shoe game posted my status a few years ago because I said it. You're talking about Nike basketball, so I feel like if we take a moment of time from 2010 with the Grinches and the South Beaches,
Mm-hmm.
all the way up to All-Star 15 at the Barclays Center, and that little 5-year period of time, I feel like Nike basketball, even though I always include Jordan with Nike
Mm-hmm.
basketball, Nike basketball was more important and more sought after than Jordan, other than the 11s.
I can agree to that because number one, we saw silhouette starting to fold outward, and especially with Kobe sneakers, with LeBron sneakers, and keep them. And I stand on this. KD's, Kyrie's. You were introducing something more comfortable for an actual basketball sneaker.
Mm-hmm.
So I stand on this, and I respectfully agree to disagree with anybody on this one. I don't buy Kobe's because I didn't like the shoe when he was alive. So respectfully, I stay in my lane now. I can't jump on that bandwagon. I have major respect for him as a person, as a player, and recognize who he is. The sneakers they just aren't in my wheelhouse. LeBron's same way, just not a fan personally, but I also know what they mean to quite a few people in the community, so I don't ever knock it or throw dirt at it. I just that was a crazy time. It feels stagnant now, if that makes sense. It just feels yeah.
Nah, I agree. I agree because I used to look forward to Black History Month and All-Star, Christmas, from a sneaker standpoint. Not saying I don't look forward to those things as a person, but
No, yeah.
what they're gonna come with on Christmas. You look forward to the Kobe's and the LeBrons and the KDs, but
I took the Black History Month releases for granted. And it was mainly because I felt like they were going to be around. So I was like, oh, I'll come back to them. I definitely took those for granted. And as I sit back now as an older adult man, I recognize like, bro, that was a time that I can't get back. That was a piece of history that I can't reach back and go, damn. Like it was just it was for the culture, and the fact that it's kind of faded into obscurity, it kind of hurts. It definitely kind of hurts a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Agreed.
I mean, that was such a great time, and I mean, there were good retros, and I'm not saying that retro Jordans didn't sell, but I feel like again from 10 to 15, there would be like certain ones. Like in 2014, that was like the year of the six. So it was all these sixes, the cigar and champagne, and the carbide,
Ooh,
and the Brazils, and
yeah,
you know
that's
all the
that cigar
O's.
and champagne back was utterly beautiful. I don't know what it is about those two shoes. Like those two shoes genuinely just make me smile.
Now I'm gonna say this: I
Please.
have the cigar.
Hmm.
I really regret not getting the champagne because nobody really, the store I was working at and running at the time, we had the packing. Nobody really fucked with the champagne, but now you can find a cigar for,
Yeah,
you can find a good pair of cigars for $150. The champagne, it's like 300. Like,
that
damn.
champagne is a problem, and I didn't realize that it was like I said it was like a embedded design inside of the actual
Yeah,
fabric of the shoe. So it was just like, damn. And I'm not a huge person on the color green, but I'm like, shit, it works. It was like kind of like an emerald. So
yeah,
it was just like, oh, this works. And then pairing it up with the fact that the photo, one of his most iconic photos, him with the cap on, cigar in mouth, bottle of champagne with the trophy, like it makes sense. So it's just like, all right, I see what you did there. There was quite a few pairs of sixes, and just did not get enough love. The motorsport sixes
yeah,
was one of them,
yeah,
and hands down, still a beautiful shoe, beautiful sneaker.
yeah. I'll even say I didn't like them at the time, but now I kind of wish I had those Pistons and Lakers sixes. Now,
Bruh. Oh my god! Don't get me started on if I could go back in time, we'd be
listen,
here all night.
I used to work at Sneaker Villa in 2010 and 11 because they were new in Cleveland, and they had a bunch of white and varsity red sixes and those Piston sixes. They were on the buy one get one for $1 table. You know what I mean? Like I could have, but I was just like, man, the patent leather, I ain't never gonna wear. Like I was stupid. You know what I'm saying? But now the solace I have is all right. A
I,
lot of my shit from that time is starting to break down
yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I still should have gotten
yeah.
one and one. Now I did buy the infrared pack because they had them sitting and they had sat for like 6 months. I'm like,
You
I
got
was like, I hired them. Like, we still got this.
gotcha.
So
Yeah,
I bought one of those, but I should have bought those other shoes too.
absolutely. And he brought up another. He said, "I hated them and the slam dunk sixes. That slam dunk six right now is." I don't. When I talk about a sneaker, I don't even talk about from the perspective of price. I talk about the fact of like what it actually is doing for people now. I got a buddy of mine. His girl gave it to him as an anniversary gift. Bro, you'd have thought she gave that man $3,000, $10,000 cash because that's his grail sneaker. And when you see that shoe, the design, the color scheme, the underlay, the entire story behind it is incredible. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely a shoe that does not get enough love. The six model is something very, very special.
Yeah.
And it definitely deserves love.
Six,
Definitely deserves love.
the six made me a sneakerhead in fourth grade in 1991. Like
Okay.
I've been into sneakers. I was kind of into sneakers before, but that was the first shoe I ever wanted. Like my dad had them the day before me, and he was like, "Well, I didn't get you a pair because we need to get your foot measured." And I got my pair the next day.
Yeah.
But I have a similar story. In my marriage, I will say, I'll give her credit. In my marriage, my wife did get me some of my all-time grails, and she actually won the Dornbeckers for me when they brought them back in 19. Because I wasn't
Are
even
you
gonna tell her
serious?
about it. I'm like, she's just gonna be on some hating shit. Like, nigga, you getting a nice shoe. She's like, why you ain't tell me? I'll enter. I took an L. She won.
Yep.
So yeah, it's because that was like my Grail 6. I just couldn't believe that I had it, and when it came, like I had to go because I had to review it on YouTube. I don't ever do on feeds, but it's definitely one of my best reviews because I was just so happy to have it.
That easily was on my dragon list, and finding it in a good condition was number one, damn near impossible. And I'm staring at it right now. That Dornbecker 6 is so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Man, fuck that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hey, show the people. I ain't got my pair here. My pair is in storage, but
like,
yeah.
bro, this shoe is a shoe I'm waiting to unds because like it is just everything about it. Whether it's that beautiful suede, I love the fact that they dropped the one on the back.
Mm-hmm.
This kid, he busted his ass with the design. And the more I kept like looking over the shoe, I didn't realize there were other just little
Yeah.
subtle things about
The
things that I didn't
Livingston.
know.
What time
Yeah,
is it?
bro,
Prime time.
bro, crazy. Like the fact that they really did well in the insole, that quilted moment on the lining, it's a gorgeous shoe, and this is easily one of my favorite sixes. This is like I said, this was on my dragon list, and for those who know me, I created like a list of grails that I just had to knock off. This shirt, this shirt was on it.
Yeah,
Getting
that's
better.
beautiful.
Facts. That's facts, guys. I love this six. I love this six. So I understand. I love it.
Well, I got one for you here.
The
This
retro,
is
the retro.
something. Now, my son did this. I'm gonna be right back.
Go for it. This the retro Dells. This is the one that came out in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is the. I hate trying to find the tags in these joints. That shit blows my day.
What? When that Dornbecker's from?
Yeah, this is the 2019. I just always like to triple check.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really considering buying a pair from 2009 and hoping it didn't crumble before that happened.
Bruh, can I tell you, like, I have not had a shoe crumble on me yet,
Really?
and I got some shit in here from years past. If I go really old, I try to go a bit worn and try to aim so because I'm gonna wear that shoe. Period. The only shoes that like really have some age on it in here that are DS. I got a DS pair of '06 Cardinals. I have a pair of '94 Jordan 1s downstairs, but those have been worn. Um, it's a couple other dunks I have in here too, and it can make you a little fearful to put them joints on foot. And I'm just like, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out.
One shoe that I have that's DS that's hit the 10-year mark because it's just so nice. I haven't really wanted to wear it. Them broken backs, Air Trainer SCs. I can't bring myself to wear them.
Bruh, I'm trying to get into that trainer mark. That strap across the foot just is a little uncomfortable for a wide foot person like myself.
Okay.
So, and I've seen the broken bats. Yo, hand was good, bro. Quite a few trainers that I've seen because even now, like me and the fellas been sitting there talking about the Diamond Turfs, the Deion Sanders and the ones that are about to come back out. I definitely need to get my hands on a pair. I got to know if that strap is comfortable fitting across my foot. Last time I tried a pair on, because it was the all brown Bo Jacksons that looked like the actual bat itself.
Okay.
The joints wasn't too comfortable. That's all it was. They just weren't too comfortable.
I'm gonna show you all this. Now, I have a teenager. Just right quick before I forget. So a couple years ago, he asked us for a pair of infrared sixes. So how do you like, how you know about that? Look at what he's done to this. Now I took these, I confiscated these. He can't really fit these anymore anyway. So since I've been off work since 5:45. I've gotten one shoe sort of clean, but it kills me. Now I own, this is the 14 pair. I probably own about 6 pairs of just this release. This would be number 7. But
okay.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not trying to cuss on here. It might be
No,
kids.
say no.
Like, what the fuck did you do? How did you? Now this dirt has been sitting for over a year, so I didn't even know this was like a new discovery. So this was how this was. It took me about 20 minutes to get it like this, and I still got to get in the holes. But
Oh my god, can I tell you that today's kids? And I'll speak from my perspective. I didn't start really appreciating what I had until I had to start buying that shit myself. I'm hoping that's the case because I'm telling you right now, seeing some of the way that these kids do their sneakers, like my daughter, she cleans hers off, she takes her time. My son, he's a little vigilant on his as well, but like seeing some of these kids walk around and like my biggest pet peeve is seeing like a girl wearing dirty Air Force Ones. Like, what's happening right now?
Why is this happening? Yeah.
Like, did I miss something? Like, is there? I remember having those times where you sat there with a little cup of water mixed with some dishwashing liquid, depending on if the shoe was white or not. You had like a tablespoon of bleach in that drink, and you just sat there with your toothbrush and you went to work. Nowadays, it's a little bit different brushes, a little different solutions, but same old process still is there. I'm at a loss when I see like just a dirty pair of sneakers because at the age of 13, I will never forget this beautiful young girl I was in Bible study with sat there and said, I make shoe contact before I make eye contact. At that point in time, everything changed. Everything changed. I was like, wait, what? She was like, yeah, if your shoe's dirty, we're not talking. And I was just like, all right, bet. Let me go
I
take
had
care of that.
a moment like that. I used to work at this department store named Kaufman's. It's sort of like Dillard's. And there was this raw ass chick that worked in like the customer service part where the Ticketmaster was. And she told me kind of the same thing. Like, you can tell a lot about a person by how they keep their shoes. And that just resonated. That shit been almost 30 years ago, and I still be hearing that
It's
shit in my head.
it's still and then it got worse because I remember when I was in high school and a chick sat there and said essentially the same thing, but she also added the fingernails in.
Mm,
She said two things I can't deal with is a man with dirty shoes and dirty fingernails, and I was just like, everything starts to click now. As an older man, you be like, all right, that makes sense. As a younger dude, you like, the fuck does it matter?
yeah.
Nah, it matters. No, it matters. It definitely matters. But nah, those are humbling moments, to
Yeah.
say the least.
Because I'll just say as a well, I've
Facts,
been,
Henry.
yeah, I would say being single again, being back out here, one of the first things I notice is a woman's hands. You know, it's one of the first things I notice. Um,
Yeah.
the young lady I'm talking to now, I believe she's in here. Hey, Rochelle, she got nice nail beds. You know what I'm saying? She got it all together. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I love that. Shout
My
out to
wife,
her.
shout out to you, Rochelle. My wife looks at me weird every time that I let her know. I was like, yo, I'm so thankful you got a pinky toenail. And she was like, she said, I remember when I first said it to her, she's like, what? I was like, yeah, it's a lot of females out here don't got a pinky
It's
toenail.
true.
And she was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, bruh, I don't believe me. She then started to see it more and more, like women who did not have pinky toenails. She was like, this was really a thing. I was like, you thought I was just blowing smoke up your ass? Like, I'm dead serious. Like, it's a thing that makes me smile. Um, Stop it, Ham. Thank you, bro. Two things I love to see in a woman, or just with my wife in general. I love a woman who smells good and just has nice hands
Yeah.
and feet.
Yeah,
I can work with anything else. I can work with anything else. But those are must. Those are a necessity.
for sure.
That is a necessity. But digressing.
Yeah. Now, I feel like everybody who's like us and everybody in the chat, they went to school with somebody, a rich kid or a kid that might have been in the streets already at an early age,
Absolutely.
and they had everything. Who was that person for you?
It was hmm,
What's up?
honestly, it was a couple of people who I actually went to school with. A lot of them was the D boys, and they had. I'll never forget the first time I actually saw like an official Burberry trench. Yeah, ninth grade year. It was my ninth grade year. Blue dude pulled up in a Cadillac DTS, hopped out that joint in a Burberry trench, and I was like, "That a teacher?" He was like, "Nah, bro, he probably got one of your classes." And I was like, "Wait, what?" It, it was it was them. It was them, and I remember seeing it like just from a larger perspective because then it started to get a little just a little wider from that goal. Just that goal line just kept moving because, he had that on, but at the same time, you turn over to the left, and there's somebody who was literally wearing a matching jersey corresponding with whatever Jay's and or basketball shoe at that time was out. Dudes was popping up with the Vince Carter shocks 3 or 4 weeks beforehand. Also, you had individuals who was coming through with just they either worked at a sneaker store or they had a plug-in. My cousin, shout out to my cousin Chris. He worked at a Champ Sports. Now I remember one of the first shoes he showed up with was the 17s in a briefcase.
I remember that day.
Bruh, that's still a day of infamy because like I remember watching a whole bunch of dudes who never carried books take all their shit out the briefcase that came with the briefcase and put all of that shit in the briefcase and walk around with it. I was like, bro, that's not even gonna all right. I'm just happy you in class. Like that's dope.
Yeah.
Uh, but it was them for me. So it was like seeing a lot of the D boys, and they had the North Faces, they had the steep techs. Where I'm from in DC, man,
I've
that
heard that
that
a long,
that little
long
pocket,
time.
that's the memory I have sitting there seeing them outside with. They had the pearl foam posits because foam posits was big here. They had the pearl foam posits. They had the black foam posits. They had the eggplants. And if you really, and was later on when I saw the foam posit boots, that's how I knew. I was like, oh, things getting rough. But they still had that North Face Steep Tech with the pocket right in the front, and they do what they do. But it was them. It was the D boys for the most part.
And foam domes was a whole nother level. I've had gold domes before, but I never had the foam domes. I even had some of those bacon boots. You remember them?
Yeah.
That was a moment.
Yeah. Bruh, it was that was where we lived in some rough times. But those are some of the best times I can honestly even talk about. Don't forget the Royals. Austin, thank you. I can't forget the Royals. It was movement back then. He said owning the steep tech and phones was dangerous back then. Bro, who you telling? Like these were moments in time where like if you saw 2 or 3 dudes kind of gathered up and it was like it was the steep tech fit, it was the steep tech with the phone pauses, or if they really wanted to get hyped, this may be, Lord knows it's calling my age, the Saviato fit. A lot of people who are outside of the DMV area don't know about Saviato. Saviato was just like a sweatsuit brand where it was either like a stripe or a strip and a zipper and a random patch that literally said the word Saviato. And this sweatsuit, just for the hoodie by itself, would be like $250.
Yeah.
And it was a random little boutique spot over there in Georgetown. As much as they sold a sweatsuit, it was like it was guys in actual 3-piece suits who were selling it. So you come in there and you go buy this, and it was the Sabiato fits. The NBA jackets, the leather ones with all the teams on them, all the patches. Then they got the jeans if they really was getting fancy with it. I remember, Lord knows I remember. Those were some wild times. And then obviously Averex still set a mark too. But let it have the 3M for the extra 75.
Yeah. That's real. Now I remember Saviato. My best friend went to Howard and came out of Howard in 03.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time in DC, and at one point he lived in Southeast, so I got to see firsthand what you talking about in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Because he lived in Silver Springs first.
Okay,
then he bought his house, and it was in Southeast. You know what I'm saying? So I can't remember the street, but it wasn't far from the metro. That's all I remember is it wasn't far from the metro.
Which metro? Anacostia?
I think so.
Okay, so
I think
that area it's gotten better. It's still a little heavy. Don't get it twisted though. Like they trying to work at it. It ain't going well.
I will tell you, the first time I ever went down there, because we have this in Cleveland, we have this rail system called the Rapid. And Cleveland is ill too, but not Southeast DC, not where we from. There's parts of Cleveland that's like that, but I bought like 6 pair of sneakers because it was like dunks and it was shit that just wasn't in Cleveland. And he was like, hey man, we ain't getting off the Rapid at home. Shaker Heights, you better chill. We fuck around and get fucked up. You keep buying shit. and I had to kind of like chill. I'm like, because he wanted me to experience the metro because he had a car, but we was like walking through the neighborhood. He was like, yeah, you can't do that here. This ain't like where we from. You
Nah,
better chill and fuck around and get fucked up.
yeah,
I never forget that shit.
yeah.
You
And
know?
it was, and I'm never surprised because like I remember, shit, honestly speaking, it was Dominic was 11 years old. He brought the strap to school with him, and this was
Mm.
in elementary.
Yeah.
So he was running down on old heads whenever he got the opportunity, and you'd be surprised who you get ran down on by.
Nah.
So yeah,
Well,
you
but
had to
hell,
keep
even now,
it.
the little dudes kicking up dust is the 15 to 18-year-olds and the 12 and 13.
Everything is drill this and drill that. Like, and this is how I know, like, I'm definitely getting old because I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Excuse the language, but it's like, I remember it, like, it was dangerous. Don't get it twisted, but if you were known or if people knew you, you could at least move through certain spaces and be at least okay. Nowadays, they don't give man, they don't care. If they
Yeah,
don't
you
know,
that and you know.
yeah, he's like, go on.
Uh,
Run it, whatever you got in your pockets, run it, whatever you got on, take it off. Like,
yeah,
and even if you give them what they want, depending on what the circumstances are,
they might
still
still.
may be a bad day.
Yeah.
May still
Now,
be a bad day. But yeah, I remember them times, man. I remember them times.
now I'll say when I was in high school, because I was in high school from 95 to 99. Each year there were shoes that were like big back to school shoes.
Yeah.
Like when I was a freshman, you had a gaggle of people that had the Neon 95 with just white tees because there wasn't nothing out at the time that went with it.
Yep.
There wasn't no clothes or nothing. So
Nope.
in ninth grade, it was the Veers, the 95s, the Webbers,
Jesus Christ, the Chris.
and a couple of the super, like you couldn't get the Veers, you got the Air Turmoil, which was
Yeah.
like a fancier Veer anyway. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and the
Good.
speed turfs. Can't forget
Good.
about the speed turfs.
God have mercy.
Each year, 96, everybody had to air more and air much up tempo. More people had to much. But,
Yeah.
you know, yeah,
I'm
I
trying.
really,
I'm trying to put my finger on it because I remember number one, I remember the flight posit being one of the main ones that was like that back to school shoot. And it was the Kevin Garnett flight posit. Hold on. I know I can pull up a picture of it. The this shoe I saw, it was the one that came in multiple colors, and everywhere I saw this shoe, it was the back to school shoe to be messed with. Um I remember this shoe like it was yesterday. Uh Hold on, here it is. This shoe had it had my entire high school career in a chokehold. And let me see this one. Here we go. This shoe had the entire world. Like looking back at it now is crazy. This shoe had the world in a chokehold, and it was in multiple colors.
uh, yeah, the flight posit too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this joint had the world in a chokehold. King James was good, bro. They had it in black, blue. You had this colorway. Like,
yeah. They actually retro those in 18 or
yeah,
19.
yeah, they did. Like I still remember seeing this stomping through the hall, bro. Like this was the back to school shoe, and it's crazy because like I remember this shoe so vividly, just making its way through most of the hallways, and then can't forget about these.
Yeah, man. I got the black and blue ones, man. The straps are starting to break because they
Yeah.
so old.
Oh yeah, bro. This is what we actually want Nike to recognize.
Yes,
Like
that's the one I
like
have.
like
Uh,
let's keep it a band about it. And then it got crazy because like you got to see just so many other different variations, and it didn't feel like you were just strapped into one space. You got the opportunity to see so much more just from that focus. But like one of my favorite basketball players of all time, Kevin Garnett, and I love everything he did. I'm still looking for this pair myself, and I have not been able to find this pair um, in my size in any type of condition. Period.
the Garnett 3
It's the
or the Garnett 1?
the 98.
Oh, the Garnett 3. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The Garnett
I
three.
have the black one, but I can't find that white one.
I can't find either pair in my size in a good condition. And the only time I seen it on somebody's foot, Los was good, bro. was actually during it was during the not this past year SneakerCon in DC, the year before that. So the 2022 SneakerCon, dude was in that joint actively walking around in the black and blue pair, and I'm stuck because I'm just like, I will buy them shits off your feet right now if you let me.
Yeah, whenever I wear those, the Ergo LWP, anything like that, that's like they only retroed it once. The retro was still like 08, 09, 10. I'll be
Yeah,
walking real light.
you move smoothly. Yeah, you move smoothly because like this is my
Yeah.
whole grade. Yeah, I love this shoe, but yeah, it was a couple pairs that had a lot of the area in a chokehold, especially from a back to school perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and those were quite a few of it.
See, I always say, and I feel like you'll be able to feel me on this. Everybody in the chat too. They'll Nike will retro a shoe and it'll come out most of the time. If it's something like that, it'll go on sale and then the bitch will just disappear. Like it
Yeah,
never came out. I
yeah,
call it the sneaker vortex because there's so many trainers and basketball shoes. Jordans don't really make the vortex because I feel like if you have enough money, you can get shit that Michael Jordan actually wore if you got the money.
we just
But some of these
saw,
shoes,
we
you
just
just
saw
can't.
his game one pair signed sell for what, and it was only the right shoe. They all six of them sold for 3 point some odd mil.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you know.
yeah,
But
no, I agree
it's
that
yeah.
that shoe dropped and it was 149.99, so 150 was it 160 something with tax or
Mm-hmm.
150 something with tax. Then I remember it going on sale for 89.99, and then after that you didn't see it.
Yeah.
And not having the forethought to say, "Oh, I'll buy an extra pair," or "I'll have an extra pair," whatever, because you at that time you're not thinking about like, "Oh, well, I'll see it again." The hell if you did.
Another shoe in that category where I walk real light because I don't know how much time I have with them is that black and blue Penny 2. You just don't know. And I'm like, oh, my dad got me the social status pair for Christmas uh year before last or whatever, but that's like the closest we've gotten.
Yeah, bro. The fact that your dad is still a sneakerhead is crazy. Like that's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. This 23, he bought more J's than I did. I'm like,
God
he got to play off 13s, the USC fives, like shit I don't even have. Like,
damn.
I got my 2011 playoff 13. It's like, I don't need that. It's like, yeah, I
Facts.
got it. I'm like,
All
okay,
right. Appreciate your pops. Like, damn. Nah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
no, it's interesting to see, but that penny two black and blue still, Jesus Christ,
Listen,
that
I,
takes you back.
yeah, I'm a Nike employee. I'm not gonna wait for the swoosh. I am gonna just buy that bitch when it comes out.
Smart
It's a few
man.
shoes like that. This trainer called the Air Ubiquitous, the Jerry Rice used to wear. I would buy that
Yeah,
full price. I've never been able to get the white and blue Zoom Turf 96, the Barry. I've
yeah,
always had the black and gold, gray one.
yeah.
It's certain shit. I'm like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna just get it. I ain't waiting.
And honestly speaking, I think that Nike and a lot of these other companies, they're realizing that a lot of these sneakers at this current time, if they release, they probably gonna move maybe a solid 10,000 pairs to individuals like yourself and myself and quite a few others who gonna vibe with that. These youngers not messing with that.
Nah,
They're not getting behind that.
like, my son, he's about to turn 16. I don't really think he would, because I think he was maybe 14 when he did this to these sixes. They've been sitting for a while. I discovered them, and I'm like, what is
The
this?
fact that I discovered them is crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully he's not on here. I went through his room when I was at the house earlier. I was like, what the fuck? I showed his mother. I'm like, look at this. I was wondering what
Jesus.
happened to these. So I confiscated them.
Smart man. Like, let me
Um,
go to work on these myself.
but like, I be asking them, I'm like, so like, what do people in high school wear? Like, I really don't know. Like, I work for Nike, but it's through Converse. Like,
God.
I work at Converse store. And I see what the girls is buying because they just buy black and white hot tops or white Air Force Ones and destroy them and then come back get another pair. But like, I don't understand what the little dudes is wearing. And then it's like, if it's J's, why y'all wearing J's? I'm not trying to
Hold on.
gatekeep. Why are
No,
y'all
no.
wearing J's?
Hold on.
You didn't see them.
Time out. the J's that they wearing aren't J's. Let me go ahead and let's look because we drop my daughter off at school every morning, and every so often I'll ride with my wife because you know, if I'm getting off work at a certain time, you know, I'll just ride with her. I'm seeing a lot of they like them LaMelo Ball joints, whether it's Dexter's Laboratory ones or the Rick and Morty joints. I'm seeing a lot of J's like so. I didn't know that they were even still making these. They just came out with a recent pair. It's like a 6, 8, and it's like a you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's got the bottom of a 6. It's the MVP. It's a 6, 7, and 8 all together.
They wearing them joints like crazy. They wearing Dub Zeros. They wearing Dub Zero. A lot of pandas. Oh my god, so many fucking pandas. So many pandas. So many pandas. Air Forces. I see some New Balances, but out of the main percentage of kids who I actually see coming in that joint, the main thing I see is Crocs.
Okay, I do see that.
Like Crocs is the leader of the new school at this current time. They wear them shoes like it is no tomorrow, and I'm talking about to the point where I've actively seen rain, snow on the ground, and it's like, all right, cool. He said people don't believe them MVPs, Jordan doing numbers. I would. I don't. It doesn't make sense though.
I'm gonna say it. Like before we moved down here, I was working for Foot Locker.
Yeah.
That experience working there for a year after already being at Hibbett for 2.
Nice.
It showed me who bought those shoes because like we were selling true flights because old dudes was thinking they was 7s. Old dudes was thinking Son of Mars's and not Son of Mars's 6 rings were 11s.
Yeah.
So a lot of old dudes, and there are certain ethnic audiences that gravitate to them too.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of MVPs. It's usually old dudes. Though. Yeah, man, I'm rocking these. See, I had to say that. I can't really say it.
You got it. I ain't saying that. You got it. No, it is wild because it's like, I mean, where would you feel comfortable? First of all, where would you can afford? That's 2 things. And also, where would you feel comfortable in? Nobody's gonna be mad at. It's just like nowadays, like especially with the kids, Vin Bakers.
I'm gonna speak on that in a minute, but I'm gonna let you finish. I'm sorry.
It's just like I said, I just remember going to school and like we didn't have uniforms at that time, so it was like depending on what the situation was, it was a fashion show. Like dudes would step in that joint to look good, and it was just like, yo, you actively put effort into what you wore to school, not just one day of the week, but every day. 90% of the time, these kids are just wearing pajamas, and that's not a joke. Like I'm not talking about like actual pajamas, and like all right, like maybe they didn't come. A lot of that transition out of the pandemic didn't go well for a lot of them, but it was just like, all right, it is what it is. But go the Ben Bakers, man.
Now I'll be trying to tell people like dudes to be like, if I come with some Pro Strongs or some Pro Quicks or the original Team Jordan or the first Jumpman, I don't, because they were shoes back then and we were old enough to remember that them Jumpmans was just as big a deal as the regular J's.
Absolutely.
Really until retros started in '99, I don't look at those the same, but I don't fuck with them if they're not original colors.
Yeah.
Like when they brought back the Vin Bakers in 18, black, white, and green, that's it.
Yeah.
The Pro Quick, they finally came out with the white, black, and purple Eddie Jones joints.
Yeah.
But when you start coming out with them in these other colors, I'm like, I can't do it.
Nah. And don't get it true. There are some like I remember when Team Jordans had the world in a chokehold. Like I remember, hands down, easily 2 of my favorite pairs. And if I found a pair, I'd wear them today. The goodness gracious, not Marshall Falk. It was the Randy Mosses.
Oh, the Super Freaks.
Oh my God. That black and
Yeah,
silver pair and that white and purple pair. Oh my God.
I never had them. I got the
I,
Mossifieds,
I
but I
didn't
never
either.
had the super fives.
I never was able to get my hands on a pair like that. Shoe, hands down, was fucking gorgeous. And it was incredible. That joint had the world in the chokehold for a minute.
Yeah, and they retroed it, but it didn't have the 84 on it. But
And,
I regret not getting that retro.
yeah.
You know,
He said Kanye was trying to make socks cool.
yeah,
Bruh, come on now.
that's a whole other
Come on, man.
talking about that dude.
Go ahead, man. Come on, man. Like I remember when Team Jordan had the world in a big chokehold, and it was the shoot. I remember having a pair of the first Carmelos that came out.
The 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got a pair of those in the stash,
yeah.
the black and blue one.
Mm-hmm. The
Yeah,
black and blue. That was the exact pair I had. I had that black and very interesting blue because it was hard as shit to match with anything that was worth
yeah.
it.
You had to get some nuggets or some Jordan shit.
Yeah, yeah. They wasn't making it fun, but like everybody at that time who was on Team Jordan had something for everyone. With because didn't if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Roy Jones Jr. have a shoe?
It was that Treader LX that they bring back in blue and red.
Yeah.
I think was the other
Yeah.
color.
Uh-huh.
I could still see the foot action ads
I
of it back
remember
in
prices of
2000.
retros and the Spizikes being another pair.
Yes,
The Spizike was a problem.
that that
Spizikes was a problem.
I was at Champs at that time, and I remember that True Blue one was the first GR one that wasn't crazy limited, and we sold out of them in a day. Couldn't
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah.
In a day,
I'm never surprised. I'm never
2007.
surprised. I'm never surprised. It's the hybrids. They worked for a time, and even now they seem to be doing numbers amongst the kids. But like retros, they had a good little while. When he started his career, I got the Mellow Jordan when he started his career with the Knicks. Yeah, I remember that drink. Goodness gracious, I remember that
Yeah,
drink. Um,
I always wanted the 1.5s that was white and orange. I think they were like limited or something. I always wanted
yeah,
them.
yeah, because it was the white it was the all white one with the blue and yellow. Then it was the black and blue ones, and then it was that pair. I never saw that pair like actually on foot. I only saw that in pictures.
Yeah.
Nah, it was wild times, man. It was wild times. It was some good times, but there's definitely some wild times.
Now, you have a plethora of sneaker knowledge. You know,
A little bit of shit.
one shoe that's unretroed that you would have them bring back.
One shoe that's unretro and not from the Jordan model itself. They
Yeah.
retro that every pair.
Well, I'm trying to think. I don't know if there are any old. I mean, I'm sure they had so many OG ones that were samples and stuff, but yeah, I don't know if there's a Jordan that hasn't
Yeah,
been retroed.
for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
for me personally, if I'm gonna do it, it's only a few ways I can go with this. So I'll start it off easy. I'd love to get a second pair of these. I would love to get a second pair of these. Or I'd love to get a second pair of these. I'm not gonna sit here and act like the both of these shoes didn't change the forerunner of what we actually saw for the sneaker community and the actual wave of sneakers in general. So when we talk about shoes that have not re-retro, when we talk about shoes that have not seen the light of day from a brand new perspective, bruh, I can't tell you how many April Fool's jokes I done got trapped in where they talk about, oh, and it literally be like, what it'll start on what March 31st. I'm like, oh, Kanye's re-signing with Nike, and you'll start seeing them joints pop up. You're like, oh, and you check the date. You be like, man, fuck y'all. Hey, stamp on that.
I do believe that that's going to happen one day, though.
I think he, I think he's trying to create his own, and I think the Kanye who would have signed back with Nike, I think that Kanye is a little too far gone. And this is coming. And this is speaking from a person who loves the artist. I genuinely hope he is well. I hope he's okay. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Now,
I
I'm not
hope he does.
feeding into the hype, but the last time I saw the nigga, he had on some all black forces and Nike gloves.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Like, you see somebody, if you see Ye walking around in a pair of all black force, you like,
He had the titanium grill, like his teeth were like
you got
titanium. I'm like, what is this nigga on?
what was the villain from James Bond? Oh my God, he literally did it because of him. He literally, he said Nike ain't with the high risk. You see how they did Kyrie? Exactly. And I
Yeah,
hate to agree
that's
with
true.
that.
That's a really good point, Push.
And that's the worst part about it. Like I would love to see that man step back into. I would love him to step back into this bag. And I have every pair that he's done with Nike so far. Jaws, thank you, D Sneaks. Jaws. I would love to see him step back into that bag. I don't think that Kanye is around anymore, and that's the part that really kind of makes you sad because it's like that was the college dropout Kanye. That was the late registration. That was the the 808s and heartbreaks. After that, things started to teeter off. It makes you sad, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that would be a beautiful moment to say the least. But yeah, everything else from a Nike standpoint, like if they brought out another pair of OG uh black and red 16s, I'm here for that. Same way with the white and blues. Yeah, there isn't too much within my vision of Nike that they can re-retro and make me go, okay, I gotta get off my shit for this. I
Yeah,
gotta get off my seat for this one.
I'm
But
kind of surprised. 'Cause remember they retroed the white and blue 16 at the end of 2016. They made them 250, I want to say,
yeah, yeah.
but they just stopped. They didn't come out with any other ones. Just that one.
So wait a second. I thought they did the trophy rooms. I remember the trophy rooms.
Well,
Um,
they did those.
yeah, they did
But
those. I remember the trophy rooms,
yeah,
and I remember being so upset because I was like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I want the black and reds. I want like, and there's nothing wrong with. First of all, I love the 16 model. That's one.
hmm.
Um, the gingers, the cherry woods. You get that joint with a Redskin jersey or the OG Redskin jersey. He was killing it. The the trophy rooms, they were dope, but it was just like I wanted the OGs, and I think that's why I definitely didn't even attempt them drinks.
Yeah, because I mean, even a pair of 16s from the countdown pack is still kind of you're still kind of pressing your luck, especially if you get a pair of DS. Since it's got that air bubble.
Oh yeah, and that's why I'm at with mine because like mine's is from the countdown pack, so I'm sitting there kind of staring at it like, so what are we gonna do? And it's like, so what are we gonna do?
Yeah,
It's a different bug, but like still just it's the beauty of it and all to be able to see it just in general. So
yeah.
small wins.
Okay. Because I mean,
What's good, bro?
I've seen them do. They've done the 15. They've sort of retroed the 16. They're about to do the 17. Beyond the copper. They've done the 18. They've even done the 19 and the 20.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's 23 technically, but I'm always curious to see how shoes like that do because I feel like they come out with shoes like that specifically for us. That's why the
Oh,
price
absolutely.
points are higher.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like if I'm not mistaken, when I have a DS pair of Jordan 17s downstairs right now, suitcase and all, everything. Um, I'm even looking at the shoe is starting to crack, so I know for a fact I'm not going to even attempt this. They gave Obsidian 15. I'll take the facts. I want the stealths. Well, I got the stealths, but yeah, I follow exactly what you're saying.
I need the UNC. Mine are yellow as fuck.
That was a move back then because number one, the Jordan 15 was one of the models when he came out with it. I was like,
Yeah.
you love something? Did somebody hurt you? What's going on here? Um,
Yeah.
no, it was definitely like I didn't understand the vision, but understandably so now I get it. And number two, the shoe was actually really, really comfortable. Weirdly enough, the shoe is really comfortable. Um,
Go on record. It's to me, it's still the worst Air Jordan ever made. But I have all but one OG color.
There you, exactly. There you go. It's one of those things where like though even with the 17s releasing, they're setting them at a price point that you know for a fact there's only going to be a certain individuals who can get them drinks. Um, so you see them on foot. Facts. That's agreed. Those 17s, if I'm not mistaken, out the gate they asking for 350, if I'm not mistaken, with the briefcase.
I believe so.
Yes.
And I believe
So
it's only taking this long because they didn't know how much to make it.
even if I'm willing to deal with that because of the briefcase, though. But we're not gonna get the CD-ROM. We may not get the poster. I don't know what's gonna be the add-on features. It may just be the actual briefcase, and I'd be okay to deal with that. It's still a beautiful shoe. Lord knows it's still a beautiful shoe. Two's a therapeutic kicks. I'm done with you. These are better with time. Dope on feet company yet. Twos are the worst. No, you know what? Twos are not the. I love the twos. And I'm speaking from a person who bought the wing twos. I got the mellow twos. I obviously got the Chicago's.
I need those mellows. I never had those.
Bruh, that shoe. That's easily one my favorite Jordan 2 out of the entire mix. Gorgeous shoe. Gorgeous shoe. It's a couple different variations of versions. The only extra ones I'm looking for are the Dornbeckers, and if I can find the Bentus, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
He said there will
See,
be no you slandered in his chat.
yeah, I know that's right. I love it too as well. I love it.
Mellows are dope.
Yeah. I need those. I've got a decent amount of twos, more than most. I feel like more than most people,
Yeah,
but I never
absolutely.
had the mellows. And I'm gonna say this: you remember the infrared 2 from 2014?
Yep.
I'm telling you, that shoe would have been made. I ain't gonna say like the Just Dons, but if it had been made with like premium materials, those would be an all-time classic. They were just made so bad.
Yeah, easily. And that shoe, and if I'm not mistaken, what was it? The Concord twos that with the purple. The materials matter, and I think that's the part of the game where they're truly missing that. These materials count. If you're not taking the time out to actually sit here and put the quality into this materials, into the leather, even into the new buck or suede, whatever you want to call it, please do not put this shit on the market because nobody's gonna fuck with it. Or when they do, they gonna sit there and look at you like, yo, what am I missing right now?
Yeah.
Hands down, because it's so many different shoes that I love, but I can only wear maybe once or twice because the material is garbage. Case in point. I love this shoe. If you don't know what this is, it's the Civilist Dunk. I love this shoe. I love everything this shoe does. I love the silhouette. I love the actual scheme behind it. And if you don't know, let me see.
Okay.
So once heat hits it, that's the whole. This is what the shoe does. So it goes from that all black and the colors just spike. But the material on it, like this was off of one wear, and that toe box is damn near going to hell. And I'm not a person who likes to actually just walk around in sneakers. Like I wear literally slides to the car, slides in the and these right sit in the back seat or the front seat, depending on if I'm driving by myself. Wherever I land at, they go on foot, walk in, do whatever I do, then come on out. The material just is not holding up well. And it doesn't last. But it's like I don't think they're paying attention to that when they're actually going about making some of these sneakers. And I'm like, those materials matter because if they take shattered backboard leather and put it on every Jordan 1 they make so far from now on out, I guarantee you, from a quality perspective, them shits won't be touched.
Yeah. And see, back in the day with
Back,
dunks,
Ronnie.
if it was SB, and especially if it was collaboration, you knew there were going to be top tier materials on it.
Yeah.
So to see that, crazy.
It breaks your heart because I'm like, I love the concept behind it, and it's a comfortable sneaker. It's just the fact that it does not hold up well to wear at all. It does not hold up to wear at all. Now I got other dunks in here. I done put through the ringer, and they've lasted incredibly well. A pair that I actually this is my second pair. This is my second pair.
Oh, not the uncles.
My first pair, like when I tell you, like you could damn near see the inside from the outside. Like when I tell you, like that. And speaking of this shoe, hold that thought. So hold up. The final round of the Who Has the Heat finale championship round was this versus this. And if you don't know, so that was the final round. I'll never forget that was the final round. So I beat this shoe up well. I love it to death. Still love it to death.
Hey, when I lost in Who Has the Heat, I'm not trying to sound bitter, but
Nah.
my boy, usually on Who Has the Heat, he goes by Don Prince. His Instagram name is something else, but he had these low top dunks that were purple that were sort of Prince like, and the question would show a sneaker that was a collaboration with a music artist. So I was gonna pull my original Daylights, but I pulled the Dooms.
Ooh.
And it was people in the chat like, I can't believe the Doom lost to this dunk from last year that's just black and purple. Now I'm not taking that away from him.
Yeah.
PR kicks. That's my dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to him, but the judges was like, yeah, we're gonna go with that one. And I'm like, but this is an actual collaboration with this nigga, like, may he rest in peace. But like, come on.
Yeah, because I saw this get brought out a lot during my season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Lord knows it's not a bad shoe. It's a gorgeous shoe.
It's my favorite SB of all time. I wear it lightly though.
Yeah, you have to bear in mind. I genuinely just kind of like it's certain pairs that when I start to really have fun with it, I'm gonna make sure it's actually worth the price of admission when I pull it out. So it's like certain pairs they had to make an appearance. These had to show up.
Man.
These had to show up. And shout out to D Got Juice because he was the person who actually got these pulled out on him.
Wow. The number joints.
Yeah, he got these pulled out on him. And like that was a controversy. That round everybody sat there and said, he was like, oh, it should have went to him because he pulled out the green or blue lobsters. It was one of the two. I forget which one. I think he pulled out the blue lobsters. And it was just like, okay, we definitely was having a whole conversation over that, just from back and forth perspective. And shout out to my man D Got Juice, great dude, made the battle incredibly fun. And we just had a good time. But yeah, we was going back and forth, just talking about just different things. And it got down to that last round. He pulled them joints and I pulled those. And they was just like, y'all really doing this tonight? I was like, y'all asked for a show.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to do now. I had fun this past season. I got to pull out a lot of stuff that I usually don't get to see. And shout out to Miss Angie. Still has one of my favorite questions to ever be asked in a battle. And it was, show me a shoe that represents party, business in the front and party in the back. She wanted to see a sneaker mullet. And I was just like, wait, what? And the moment I looked over, I knew exactly what I was going to pull out. And I still don't think I could have answered that question any better personally. I won with these.
The Balvins.
This is the best model he's done so far. And even when I'm looking forward to when the black ones come out. I don't honestly see a better way to answer that question when we talk about business in the front, and then you flip it around and you start really getting that Miami night vibe. Like, it was still easily my favorite question though.
So what size do you wear?
Depending, so obviously being my size, 10.5 to 11.5, depending on what shoe. So depending on the cut.
Yeah, I get some 12s too, but yeah, I'm like 10.5 through 12. So we're in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, it genuinely depends, because there are some pairs that, like, I have to go and I can stay in 11, and that'll be perfectly fine. That's just my realm. But like my this pair right here is a size 10. This is a size 10, and the leather is broken down on it so well. The quality on it is great. So it's giving, and I walk around and he's like, "There's no tomorrow." He said, "I don't like it." I like them joints, man. I think they're better than the ones and the twos, definitely.
See, I like the two. Two is my favorite belt.
See, I like the three. And I think I like the three just because it's a little bit more calmer. That's all. Nothing against them, but it's just me. Yeah, this is a size 10, but there's certain dunks in here. Like, I had to scale up to a size 12. Like my skunks, those were a size 12 just because I remember how narrow that toe box was.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the newer models that are coming out are perfectly fine in a 10.5 or 11, and I'm happy with that. I'm not taking no for an answer. No, that's fact. No, you know my vibe. I'm leaving him something. But depending on what the cut is, like, I definitely can play around at certain sizes. And I'm definitely leaving here with something.
Yeah.
That's what I was questioning. But yeah, no, it just kind of all depends. It definitely just all depends. So
Depends on brands. Like Adidas and Reebok, I could still do an 11 depending on what the shoe is. Nike performance shoes are the only ones generally. Like if I was getting some LeBrons or Kobe's or something, it would have to be a 12 generally. 11
you
and a
got,
half.
and that's crazy because, like, even when I considered getting my first pair of LeBrons, excuse me, I literally was about to go grab the South Beaches. It was the South Beaches. I remember my man Austin was like, he's like, "Yeah, go up to a size 12." I was like, "Wait, what?" He was like, "You wear a size 11, right?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You gotta go up to a size 12." I was like, "I'm not doing it. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it." And I remember that was my stand at that exact moment of being upset. He said, "Remember the guy the other day who said he was a 10.5 to a 13?" Hey, that's hilarious. I remember. Yeah, no, I definitely know. But yeah, no, like, it's certain things that that literally one of my most recent pickups. Like, and I mean, this came in the other day.
Mm.
No,
2016.
yeah,
Yeah.
incredible. Like, just something that it always kind of eluded me, and I could never just find in my size. So this just came in. I was like, okay, cool. I love the quality on it, still impeccable, but I also just love the OG vibe of it all. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, as we wind down, what direction would you like to see your collection go in the future?
So for me, I feel like I've achieved everything where I'm at the level I'm at. And I think my collection represents the fact of where my finances were in the years past and the years moving forward. Um, I know for a fact what I'm aiming towards. And people gonna say, "Oh, that's some hype B shit, or that's some rich man shit," whatever you want to call it. I'm setting my bar. My next grab, honest to God, I need a pair of Freddies in my size. I
Okay.
need a pair of I need a pair of Freddy Krueger dunks in my size, and I also need the original gray Jeff Staple pigeon dunks in my size. I know where I want to go. So it's gonna take some time, just because it should. It genuinely just should. It should take time. Those aren't purchases you go out and just make on a daily basis from a person who just works a 9 to 5. Respectfully said,
Yeah.
I don't have that ability yet. But
You will.
in due time, yeah, in due time, and I think that's the best part about it. You once I got, I mean, I'll say it like it is. Once these walked in the house, it was like kind of like that day after the Super Bowl vibe, and it was just like, all right, what do I do now? What do I do now?
Whew.
So it started to change the landscape for what I was viewing as like, all right, cool. What can I do from a sneaker perspective? What will I start to do? Um, the PEs are dope. That's which some there's some great PEs out there. Um, there are some incredible, samples out there. But for me, I know what I want to start aiming at. And this is what kind of wakes me up in the morning. It kind of gets my feet on the ground. It gets my motor going. It keeps me still happy for the hunt. So those are definitely in my sights.
So you talk about the Freddies and the pigeons. You gonna go for the Parises too?
If I said if I if I said that I did not know a person who's selling a pair in my size right now, I'd be lying. I,
Mm.
I think that the Parises will come later on. Like, well, that's like, all right. When the kids are off to college, I'm done paying child support, and and I got the third house under the belt. That's when I can comfortably, have that discussion with the wife and be like, listen, this is gonna happen, whether we like it or not. And that it's one of those things where, like, right now I got other shit to worry about, but it sits as that goal. It's for me, it's the glass case material of it all. I want to be able to put those in the glass case downstairs and be like, would you look at those, and randomly wear them to Whole Foods on a Sunday. I'm going to do that. That's just going to happen. Uh, I love that as a thought process, and even if I don't in this lifetime, and even if I'm not able to do it within this lifetime, I think it still gives me something to look forward to, because it's, we always got to have something to work towards. So that's a good thing.
Damn, man, you got some shit, man.
Nah,
You got
I
some shit.
I just I stayed busy and I stayed working, and I think that's about the general gist of it. That's all.
Are
Not-
there
not-
any releases this year that have you excited?
um, yes, the military blue fours. God. The military blue fours got me hype. Like, I'm in love with what they're doing with the Jordan 4 model, especially since I had to pick up 2 pairs of the reimagined breads. Like, like I had to do that because it was a number one, the quality on the leather was great. Number two, it genuinely is so much more comfortable than a 2019 pair. Like, God have mercy, it's incredible. Thank you so much, Kick James. Like, you know the vibe, bro. Besides that, like, yeah, I might do a double up on those military blues. Um, right, the Futera dunks, I love those. Um, it's a couple mock-ups of some ideas that we're possibly seeing. Like, my shout out to my guy Ella Styles. He sent me a chat earlier, and it was showing they did the Amama Year threes, but they did them in a black and like cream, if you will, or like black and like cocoa. Um, it looks gorgeous. It looks phenomenal. But it's still a mock-up, so we don't know. Um, I'm interested to see what else kind of drops and kind of moves from there, because, like, at this point, the way I used to do it is every sneaker would be planned out literally by weeks in advance, because I know for a fact what I need to be, etching my budget out for, looking at this, looking at this, looking at this, looking at this. Um, at this stage of my at this stage of where I'm collecting at, I'm still in love with just going back and doing reachbacks, and I think that's been the best part about it. So unless the missus says she wants something, it's probably a Travis Scott low. I don't really pay much attention.
Now, I was
Or
going to
that's
ask you
love
about that
those.
before we go. Is your wife in the hobby as well?
She got into it because I did. And it trips me out because like I remember like kind of really diving deeper into it. And as I started to grab certain pairs, one of the main pairs I grabbed that she fell in love with was the infrared sixes. She, she
Hmm.
had to get herself a pair. Same way with the bread fours. Um, she started to fall into her dunk bag as well because then she started picking up shit like she has the bodega dunks. She has the family and friends pair too. So she has the white ones and she has the brown ones. I hate she bought her sneaker shelves from IKEA and I had to build them goddamn things and put those up because she filled up two 11-foot tall cabinets of sneakers, just like racks. She always was a person who viewed sneakers from a functionality standpoint. So she had a couple of runners here and there, and the rest of her stuff was heels and things like that. But when we got together, it definitely kind of morphed a bit. So she saw the differences in the versions. So she fell heavy for the Yeezys, whether it was 350 or the Wave Runner model 700. And kills it. She got a couple of pair of her girls out the way, one being a satin shattered backboard ones. She loves those. And the off white fours, which was not fun to go find.
Nah, I only asked because when I was in my marriage, we used to actually do a show called Purchase or Pass, where every week we would talk about what shoes we were gonna get. We would do it on Instagram Live. Um,
That's
it
dope.
was it was a blessing and a curse having a wife that was into shoes because there would be times where I would hit and she didn't, or there'd be times where she'd come with something and I'd be jealous. Like my ex wife has the shattered backboard, the satins, and I've always wanted the regular one. I was too stupid to buy them when I had them in the store I was running because I was like, these ain't no
Yeah.
G's. I ain't gonna fuck with them like that. And
Mm.
she came with them, and I just was kind of like,
All right.
you know, it was a couple things. We both had the blue Just Dons, but she had got the ones that they didn't make for us, the pink
The
ones.
with the Arctic punch.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
another one where I'm like,
All right.
yeah,
All right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whenever I always ask, sneaker couples because it would work out most of the time, but there were certain times where it would be like, I won
And
and you didn't.
there was a specific pair, and I'll never forget this. This was back in 2019. Was it October 2019? This was the Mocha Jordan 1. I'll never forget this shit. We was in a hotel in LA and we had just come out there to visit and cool out. I woke up at like 6:30 in the morning because obviously, release times, blah, 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 blah. We 3 hours
Right.
behind. So I wake up, I'm like, all right, bet. Let me go ahead and get up, get ready because I was going to get these drinks. She's like, what are you up for? Like, what's going on? I was like, oh, I'm about to get these shoes. Like, they're about to drop on sneakers. She's like, oh, I think I'll try for them too. Ha ha ha. I was like, okay, bruh. Hit the joint, hit the little what's name. It's like I go on about my business, go to the bathroom or something, come back out. I was like, that shit still say pending. What's going on? Man, I got an email and I was like, yo, I got him. But I was like, hold on, mine still says pending. I look at the email, pop the shit open. Not only did she get the shoe, but she used my account to pay for the shit.
I've had that. I've had that
Then
happen. Uh,
the the audacity for them to sit there and say, "Oh, you didn't get the shoe, bro." I literally went and sat in the bathroom for like a solid 20 minutes and just contemplated my life because I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" And ever since then, I had a slight disdain for that Mocha Jordan 1.
yeah, that was one that I didn't want it until after it was too late. Even though it's not the same, the only thing that makes me kind of not feel as bad about not having that pair is that handcrafted pair because they have a lot of those same colors.
Yeah, but so the handcrafters, I didn't realize the quality was as incredible as it was. The only thing about it though was like when I thought to go get the Mocha Jordan 1, I I can't be normal because and that's what everybody keeps telling me. I'm not normal.
Shit.
So,
What you about to shout out, man?
I mean, not everybody sits there and tells me like I'm not normal. So I was like, oh, okay. Um, when I went to go get that drink, I ain't say I got this one,
I knew it. I knew you was gonna come with them.
and obviously I had to bring his brother along.
Ah,
So, and I actually got these first before I got these because I wanted to see if there was a major difference in the actual quality in itself. And both of these are game worn. Both of these are game worn. Um, but still two beautiful shoes. So the she still has her mochas and she still loves them. She may wear them every so often, and I wear those every so often. So it just kind of depends on what the situation is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that shit hurt my heart though. I was just like, like I ain't never wanted to call somebody a bitch so bad, but it was just like, bitch. Um, but
Hey, I've been there. I
it,
feel it.
it it hurt. That one definitely hurt. But it was still a moment. It was still a moment. And it's been a couple situations like that because her account for some strange reason gets more love than mine is, even though mine has been around longer.
Hey, same thing. I'm like, you hit on those. I said
Yeah,
that same thing. I'm
yeah,
like
yeah.
the last shoe I bring up. I remember I was trying to get the Raging Bulls. We were about to go to Atlanta, like right
Hmm.
before. I was trying to get them. I took an L early. It was an early L. It was like 10:08 or something like that. She entered at 10 after 10 and won for me. How'd you do that? So
The
yeah,
disrespect it feels like it's orchestrated. Like
yeah,
this felt personal. It feels personal.
you know,
It
and
feels personal.
it's just one more thing I'm gonna have to hear about. Like, yeah, nigga, I won them for you too. And it's like, what can you say?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate you. Like that's about it.
Oh
Appreciate you.
man,
Nah,
but it's
I'm not
I'm
surprised.
glad that you're with somebody who is a part of the hobby and kind of knows because I just know you know before I met the wonderful woman that I shouted out earlier in this show.
Shout out
Um,
Miss Rochelle.
like I meet a chick and then they either stumble across my Insta or like you got a lot to choose and it's kind of like I know going in like they ain't gonna get it, they ain't gonna get
Yep.
it, and you know most I ain't gonna say all, but a lot of the chicks that are out there that are in the sneakers, a lot of them are weirdos. So it's that's a thing too. So not all, but some.
That is hilarious. I mean, it is. I've been blessed to know a few sneakerheads who are females who are just salt to the earth good people. And I think weird is one of those things where it's just like, all right, as long as you're not eating your own boogers in front of me, like y- do you like puppies? Like you don't hate dogs, right? Like just those small things.
Yeah,
Like all right, you
cool.
ever punched a kid in the face? Like I fuck a Girl Scout up. Don't get it twisted, but like I just need to know where you are.
Yeah,
Um, it definitely makes a difference. It definitely does make a difference. Like you said, just having your partner on your side to at least, even if they don't understand, they at least just let you live. It's not one of
yeah,
those harping like, oh, why do you need this? Or why do you like? Listen, I could be spending my money on a whole lot of other shit because I know men who are where I am financially who got a bunch of side women or multiple families or I'm just speaking real shit because I was like, please, you better take this advice because I know for a fact there's a couple of other ones that are way worse.
yeah. I said one time I'm like I could be collecting bitches. I said it. This was a long time ago too. I was a little freer with my tongue back in the earlier days, but
Hmm.
I could
Hmm.
be throwing all this money at the strip club. I could be. It's so many other things I could be doing. It's like
Yeah.
people tell me, people who weed heads tell me, oh, you shouldn't buy them shoes, and I'm like, well, in 10 years, I'm still gonna have those Jordans, but you're
Your
still gonna be
blunt is
looking
gonna last an
for
hour
more weed.
tops. Yeah,
You know.
your blunt is gonna last an hour tops. And I'm not knocking anybody's
Mm-mm.
anything. You
Me
enjoy
neither.
what you enjoy. Just if you come in mines, pay attention to the stones you stole can be thrown right back at you.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Don't
We
throw
all
stuff
got our
in the
shit.
glass house. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. He said better sneakers than crack. That's facts. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah,
Better sneakers than crack.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
again,
and I
if you're a
completely agree.
female telling me about my sneakers and you got over 20 purses, shut up. Shut up.
Like I'm just saying. I'm just
That
saying. And
purse is like 2 or 3 pairs of sneakers or 6 chucks.
bruh, you and that's on the if you just got a good deal on it, bruh. I've been in stores and bought this woman bags where literally it was a mortgage and then some. So I'm never surprised. I'm happy she understands where I'm at.
Yeah,
And I think that's the biggest thing. I'm just happy with that.
yeah, yeah, man.
But nah, this because she was the one who convinced me to buy the mags. She was
Beautiful
the one
thing.
who convinced me. Yeah, we sat down. We sat down on the couch and we were talking about it, and like I was pondering the thought of it because I just got the Red Octobers in like maybe a week or so beforehand, and we were just like, damn, I was like, I don't know what to do from here. Like I know for a fact what I should do, but that's unreasonable. We just moved to the house and got everything situated, and she was like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, I want the mags. And she was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "I am," but I was like, "But that's a lot to drop on a sneaker." And she looked at me, she grabbed my hand, she looked at me, she was like, "You've provided everything that this family is not only needed, but what this family is wanted as well." She's like, "I think you should go ahead and get what you need." She was like, "You work too damn hard not to experience the little joys in life, and if this brings you joy, I am 100% behind it."
It's
So
beautiful. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. After that, it was out the way.
All right, so I have to ask you this before we
Yes,
go.
sir.
Have you worn them, and what did you wear them with?
I have worn them. I have worn them. I've worn them. I want to say at least three times now. Yeah, three times. I wore them to Got Soul's Boston. When I picked them up from Got Soul Boston, that day they went on foot. Like I put them on foot for the. They was like, "Oh, those going?" I was like, "No, these are on foot." And literally strapped them joints out the box, strapped them joints up right then and there. I wore my Red Octobers to pick them joints up. So yes, they have been worn. I also wore them to SneakerCon Philly.
Okay.
Now,
The recent
when I wore them
one?
to see no, not this past one, the one last year's. Where I didn't go to that one I'm not gonna say for political reasons, but I'm just happy I wasn't there.
Right.
I'll just say that. So, um, I went to the recent year. So that I have a great friend. Shout out to my brother Miguel Fremond. I took the jacket back upstairs. He did a custom made denim jacket for me, and what he did was he did the back of the DeLorean on the back of the jacket.
Ooh.
Um, he also did the clock from it. He also did the actual mag shoe itself. And what he did was he outlined the rim of the entire jacket in actual LED lights so I could cut the lights on and off in the jacket the same way I would cut the shoes on.
That's pretty
So
fucking. That's raw
yeah,
as
it
fuck.
was he killed that joint and it
Ooh.
was just like, yo, this is fucking crazy. So like even as we were like standing in line, like number one, what that's that line for SneakerCon in Philly last year. Um, it wrapped around the block. So when we pulled up, we hopped out. Shout out to my man Ham and everybody we ran into that day. But like it was like, God damn, this about to be a walk. Literally, we started at one end and didn't know and just kept walking, 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 walking. And as I'm walking, everybody's looking like you hear the random comments, and I mean they were loud as shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, sheesh. Like, is this what we're really doing? Like, people were actually stopping me and like, bruh, is this what you decided to do today? I was like, it's a shoe. It's gonna get worn, right? So as I'm standing in line, people were still lined up behind me. And like, you hear the whispers, like, yo, is he really got them drinks on? And I'd hear him say it, so I cut the lights on in the jacket. They'd be like, bruh, you did not just do that. Um, it got a lot of compliments, and it was just good times from it. I worn them. I think I wore them on my cruise for my vacation this past year, for my birthday, and yeah, I've worn them a couple times, and every so often I wear them around the house just to make sure that they still get broken in. So they do get worn. It just kind of depends on what I'm a playful guy, so like to me, like I still love like comic tees and and just random stuff like I put a video up the other day. I had to go to my son's and I was blessed to be able to go to my son's Black History Play. So I wore a Black Panther tee. Like, great time in Philly, Matt. Like, bruh, met some incredible folks there and was able to meet up with the sneaker fam. Um, I wore a Black Panther t-shirt. Got that from Target, but I paired it with, a couple different pieces in my Black Cement threes. Um, I'm not a person who's real big into the designer market, if you will. Like, I'll shop at Target and pick me up some beautiful t-shirts and wear them dressed with whatever shoe I got in my closet, because at the end of the day, I want that to be a staple piece, or I want that to be a piece. So it's just like, oh shit, it matches and it matches well. So I have another idea for a fit that that I'm gonna wear with the mags a little bit later on this year.
All right,
So just a little bit of planning.
cool, cool. Okay, man. Before we go, do you have any questions for me?
Bruh, so seeing what the time that you've had in the sneaker game, seeing where it's going from where it's headed, do you see good things in the horizon?
For people like us, yes.
Because
I
I
only
get
say that.
worried.
I think about that sometimes too, but it's sort of like. Do you follow sports at all?
Yeah.
So you know, like the NBA is my favorite. We've got the it's always going to be the who's better between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. More and more people are younger and kind of getting on that LeBron side because we're getting older and we saw Jordan. I feel
Yeah.
like it's the same thing with the kicks, where it's stuff that'll come out and I'll be like, oh man, they brought back the Air Metal Max from 1997. You know,
Jesus Christ.
that was the shoe where I had to explain to my ex-wife what the sneaker vortex was. I'm like, listen, I normally wait for shit to go on sale or I'll get my discount with it. I'm buying these full price. They're only $140, but
Mhm.
I'm like, these are going to come out and they're going to disappear and I'm going to be looking for them. And niggas going to be trying to charge 300 or 400 because it's that obscure.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
feel like we're kind of dealing with that with shoes, where a lot of the stuff that we like is well, y'all old heads, y'all want the KGs, y'all old heads, y'all wanted the KD Galaxies, y'all old heads. So I feel like it'll be good for us in the sense that these kids are just gonna try to go follow what the next thing is.
Yeah.
Um,
Damn.
Yeezys showed us that Nike. It's hard for me to say this working for them, but Nike can be beat.
Oh, absolutely.
If
Absolutely.
they get stale and they don't do what they're supposed to do, because all New Balance is right now is a kind of a diet version of what Adidas was to Nike 10 years ago.
And the thing is, between their profit margin showing for last year up from what it was for the previous year, 6.2 bill. And keep in mind, I got few pairs of New Balances over there. A comfortable shoe, beautiful models, and I don't do the dad model of them. I do the 2002 Rs or the protection packs, things like that. I love that silhouette. I love it, and it's still incredibly comfortable. Joe Freshgood brought an entirely new um, mark to that shoe, and I think at the end of the day, I genuinely think New Balance deserves to be in that top five category now.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm gonna say this, and I know I'm gonna sound like an old ass hating, cantankerous black dude hating.
Speak your mind, bro.
Y'all gotta give some respect to the 574. If it wasn't for
Agreed.
the 574 in the USA, New Balance might not exist, being 2 for $89 at Foot Locker and Champs all of years.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, man. Mm.
That
And
should be that
the
Air Force
five
One.
seven, bro, that was, and honestly speaking, I blame these little, I blame the Migos, I blame, I blame Kanye, I blame everybody who was rocking that dad shoe moment, because these shoes were sitting in outlets like 49 bucks, and then all of a sudden this shit is $300. Like, what did I miss?
Yeah,
What did I just miss?
y'all been wearing 990s, 991s, 992s.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all been
992s.
wearing them
Yep.
down there.
Yep. staple. It's a staple. It is a full on staple, and I'm I'm interested to see what's going to be for the what's name. That's who not chill push chill. Uh, I'm interested to see where the game goes from here. Uh, Facts. He's 574 was the ultimate uniform shoe.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. Um, I'm interested to see where the game is going to go, and I like asking people who, especially who've been around to see so many, so many changes inside the sneaker game itself. I I love getting their takes on it because I start to sound exactly like you said, a cantankerous old ass black man. Like, "Man, y'all don't understand this shit. Like, y'all don't know this. Like, it starts to feel like I start to feel like that old ass dude. Like, get off my grass. Like,
Yep.
I don't want to be that. I genuinely don't want to be that. But at the same time, it's like I hate it. I genuinely hate 90% of the stuff I'm seeing coming out
Yeah.
now. So I'm hoping to God it gets
It's,
better.
see, I can see what's different because again, it happened already 10 years ago. Is I see Nike reacting to New Balance. Like, all right, the Vomero is only out because it looks like a New Balance. Then bringing back the
And
Air
comfortable as
Alpha
hell.
Force. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying comfortable as hell.
Yeah,
Comfortable as hell too.
to me, them bringing out the Mac Attack and to even more extent the Alpha Force 88. That's trying to counter the 550. Because that 550 blew up.
Mm,
Crazy.
yeah,
It looks
yeah,
a lot
it
like
did.
the Alpha Force 88. They're both original shoes from the 80s, but you know,
Thanks, CJ.
the Nike we grew up with and the Nike that's present aren't really the same. I think that they're trying to
Yeah,
get it together. They're kind of in transition.
it, we were literally just having this conversation the other day about the fact of like how much the innovation feels lost, but at the same time, they're trying to flood the market and depend on these collabs, whether it's the Travises or you know the all the skewing away from the basketball player more on the artist side.
Mm-hmm.
So you're seeing a lot more J Balvin's, or you're seeing a lot more, like I said, Travis's. He said we're in the measure era shoe right now, bruh. And that's not something I'm completely okay with, just because, nigga, it still rains
Yeah,
and it still gets cold. I don't need my foot cold and wet out here in these streets. That feels disrespectful. Um, nah, I think that's and like I said, I love the take and I love the opinion on it. I hope that at some point it does kind of find a balance
and
because it at least offers peace.
because all right, now you're seeing all these posts about oh Jordans have fallen off and his Nike falling off. And some of the younger dudes, I tell them, I'm like, this shit happens all the time. I'm
Hmm.
like, after the countdown packs and before that Concord 11, Jordans were in a cool off period.
Yeah.
You had the fiasco with the 12s with the China shit on the insole, and you had a couple of things happen. People wasn't feeling the
Hey, babe.
11s being 180 for the Space Jam was the first one. Then the
Hmm.
Concords came, then it was hot pretty much until the remaster. After the board 07, it kind of cooled off again. 16 was good for Nike, but it was Yeezy time by then. To me,
Yeah, it wasn't nothing they could do about that.
yeah, to me, Nike didn't really take it back really until 17, and that was because of Virgil.
Yeah, off white in this movement.
And it's something else. I'm leaving out too, but just that Air Max hype that was 2017 and 18 that kind of morphed from that Hirachi hype. When niggas was trying to
Hmm.
get all white, all red, or all black Hirachi. You
My
remember them
my
days?
wife has a couple. Yeah, my wife has a couple pairs up there now. Love you,
Yeah.
babe. She went and she liked the Hirachis, and she has a pair of all red ones upstairs right now as we speak. And I think that was the same. That 2018 mark is when you started seeing the dunks really take over. So
Yeah.
I follow what you're saying. It's just like,
It's all ebbs and
I guess watching the
flows.
wave up and down is crazy. Yeah, it all is. It's just like, and also you start to factor in the nickel and diming of it all too.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the fact that Jordan, Jordan ones used to be what? 1 150, 130, 150, and then all of a sudden they started slowly creeping 170, 180, and then once the other models hit 220 and 230, it was just like, all right, what the fuck?
Yeah, because I remember when they brought back all OGs in 2013. I think that's when I think they were 140, and then in 2015 when they started over again, they went up to 160.
Hmm.
Now they won 180 for Jordan 1. You remember the bitches
Yep.
back when you were seeing them ones back in 2001? Jordan 1s was 80
Yeah.
$80.
89 bucks. 80, cause, and everybody hated the Jordan 1. I bought my bread one from a resale shop, and it was literally BNDS. I paid 270 for that shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, that same bread one, even in the condition that it's in, is going for anywhere between 8 to 1,200 bucks.
Don't have the keychain
I
or the
don't want to
face
talk about it.
box.
I don't
Uh,
want to talk about it.
nah, I had said remember they came out with four. It was the black and red, the
Hmm.
royal, the
Hmm.
silver ones,
Hmm.
and those Kodak JP looking ones, the
Yeah,
navy with the silver
the
swoosh on them.
Navy. Yeah, I got
Those the navy
incredible
ones had
quality.
like a big jump man. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I ended up losing it. I didn't feel right until you remember in 2016 they came out with the Pinnacle, the six
yep.
with the gold.
Hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
finally, I got another big jump man. You know what I'm saying? Because I was hurt. I lost that shit. I think I was catching a bus or something, but I got home and it was gone. I was hurt.
Can I can I tell you that's a moment of like your heart kind of drops when you look down and you don't see that tag no more. And you just like, what the fuck? You just kind of settle back into your space and you just start rocking back and forth in your chair, saying a small prayer to yourself.
And I'm gonna tell you, I know you haven't experienced it yet. Now, a shoe crumbling on you that you love is like 3 times worse. Like I've been out
Knock
and
on
I'm
wood.
like, man, I had these 95 since 1998, and
Hmm.
I take one step and the whole fucking soul is gone. I'm like,
Just, oh my God. I I've seen that happen to somebody in a pair of Yeezy ones,
I'm
and
afraid
he
to wear my
just snapped.
blinks because of that shit right now. I'm afraid.
So right now, my Yeezy Nets have been soul swapped. My Blinks have been soul swapped, and there's a Jordan model that I actually got them from the 312,
Ah,
same exact mid. So just bear in mind, my Zens are the only pair that's completely OG all in D, for the most part, incredible condition. But I could see where like it's not chunking, but I could also see where like it may start to become a little brittle.
yeah,
I was just like,
yeah.
ah, not again. But yeah, the Jordan model 312 is perfect for that if you need it.
Do you miss the glow?
No, no. So just the midsole. I got to keep that
Ah,
outside sole like that. Yeah.
okay.
So just that midsole. That midsole is the only part that needs to be taken care of. And I watched the entire process. Like, no, if you remove that glow from you, I'm probably gonna take your soul. Like, this is not up for debate or conversation. This is not up for debate or conversation. Not
Yeah,
even close.
yeah.
No.
I appreciate you showing
It's
love to the KG3 too. There were a lot of bad colorways they brought back when they retroed it, but that black and blue one and that white and blue one are special. You remember they had a Celtics one, they had a
oh
white and gold
yeah.
one, a black and gray one. I think that was OG.
That one was all right. That one was okay. That white and green, I mean, that black and green one, I remember that, John. I remember that white and green one. And I just remember seeing it all through school. It was just like, you was just like, God damn, at what point do we stop? But, you know, everybody had their own thing. Like I said, I remember, the same way with the Gary Paytons. I remember the same way with the Vince Carters with the shocks in the back. it was it was a time where yeah you could see the same thing a little bit over and over, but at the same time it was so much variety, and I think that was the part that was like this was back during that time where it was like what $1.50 gas, $800 two-bedroom apartments,
Yeah,
and $5.99 all you can eat buffets. Like it was during that time of life. If
Mr.
you weren't there,
Days.
you had to be there to understand. God have mercy, Jesus Christ. You go spend $300 on some groceries and you came out with enough to literally last you and a four-person family for damn near a month.
Yeah,
Now you lucky to get 2 loaves of bread.
yeah. Because I go to I go to the store now, I spend $70, $80. I'm like, God, I don't even feel like I got that.
But yeah, there's no way in hell $70, $80 fit in one bag. There's no way in
Yeah.
hell $70, $80 just fit in this one bag.
uh,
Nah, Now this is where we talking about our age at right there. But like such is life. Such is life. Such is life. Man.
But look, man, I definitely appreciate you being on here. Know you're a
Appreciate you
busy
having
guy.
me.
Know we've been doing this. We've been trying to do this for a little bit.
And it's been a pleasure and a blessing for you to even have me here. It's a privilege, man. I truly appreciate
I
it.
feel the same way, man. Look, I'm gonna go ahead
Truly.
and sign off, but I'm gonna definitely be in touch.
Oh,
You
say
know,
less.
be sending you stuff like, Polar, you see this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Bruh,
So,
please, don't you get on that list. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna get the same shit in return. Just be
all
aware.
right, for sure, man. Look, everybody follow this man.
Same
Will
for
you
this, man.
tell them your social before we go?
Just Polar Bear MDK. Y'all see it listed here. Same way here on Instagram. If you need me, hit me up. If you want to just talk sneakers or just, if you need somebody to talk to and shit is just getting heavy, I get it. So I'm always just a good ear to listen. So just holler at me. I'm really just here. If I'm on YouTube, it's usually just because I'm featuring in some other places and some other spaces. But besides that, this is my main little landing space.
Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Well, I'll be in touch, man. Peace.
Say less. Say less, please.